Understanding common errors that occur within QuickBooks is really important to help our efficiency and productivity. Knowing the most common errors that we make allows us to target in on how to fix the issues that come up in QuickBooks. Let's cover some of the most frequently found errors within QuickBooks. First, let's start with setup. A very common error in setup is not properly designing our accounts. Let's go to the chart of accounts for a moment. There's a couple things that I'd like you to notice. Number one, you'll note that all the accounts do have numbers on them. Please be very careful with this. It's very common to see a chart of accounts where some items have account numbers and some items do not. This occurs very frequently when we're putting an account in on the fly. Always remember, once you start account numbers, every account must have an account number assigned to it. Also, stay consistent. Remember that when you're putting together a chart of accounts, that terminology can vary greatly. Notice here where we have the loans that each loan account is loan dash. It's easy to do when you're first establishing it, but a few months down the road you may forget that the nomenclature you used was loan dash. Always look up the chart of accounts when you're putting a new account in. It's actually easier in the long run to go to list and chart of accounts than to actually add it on the fly. When I'm in this chart of accounts screen, I can see exactly what my naming convention is. Remember too that once you set up sub-accounts under a main account, you should not put any data into the main account. If you put items into the main account, it will actually trigger a new account that is called Other. For example, if I put something in accumulated depreciation, I would then land up with bulldozer depreciation and accumulated depreciation other. The parent account needs to stay without any data in it, as that's your rollover account. Another area in the chart of accounts that you want to keep in mind also is that it's better to keep it simple than complex. Especially when you're first starting out, keep it simple. Try not to add a lot of new accounts in. There's always time to add them in the end, but when we put too many in originally, what happens is we don't remember what our logic was. This is where I'll find difficulties with consistency in data entry. I may put something under office supplies, you may put it in supplies. Keep it simple, add as you go along, and always go back into the chart of account lists and check things. You'll notice if I was doing a review, I would see the subcontracted federal withholding. I'd see no actual account number, and I would know that's an error.